Hey, sister girls, it's your big sister Abby Rodell, and this is Full Roster, your go to dating podcast for advice, hilarious stories, tough love, and a deep dive into the shit show that is the dating world. Welcome to Full Roster. Hello, sister girls. Welcome to episode 5 of Full Roster. This week, we are going to be talking about green flags. One of my most favorite topics to talk about because I feel like we always talk about the red flags, which is great. We should definitely talk about red flags too. But I do feel that green flags are incredibly underrated and something that I wish that I would have put more emphasis on in my previous relationships. I have got so much for roster rundown. A lot has happened in the Bravo world and outside of the Bravo world. So we're going to just dive into that. First off, the Valley Persian style. Okay, Golnessa is dealing with an ex of hers. His name is Dennis, and he is kind of reappearing back in her life as manipulators and liars do. And she seems to be giving him another chance. They obviously get into a huge fight. In her confessional, she just kind of triggered me into thinking about our narcissism episode that I did. And this is what she says. I am absolutely sick and tired of Dennis not being able to take any type of accountability for anything he has fucking done. He tries to throw back the energy to people, making it like everyone else is the problem. And that is exactly what manipulators do. They might say, I'm sorry. They'll never take accountability for like what they did. They'll never say what they did. They're just going to apologize because they think that that's what you want to hear. And a lot of people let that slide. He's throwing the energy back to other people and blaming other people. And that's definitely not him taking accountability. And I completely understand what she's saying. And at some point, it does make the person being manipulated look crazy. And she's kind of getting a bad edit right now where she looks like a crazy person because she's giving this guy another chance. They're screaming at each other. You can see how that is. But if you've ever been in a relationship where you're being manipulated, it's very easy to look like the crazy person because you're reacting to their abuse. I feel like she's going through that right now. Speaking of the Valley, the normal Valley, I'm a big fan of Lala Kent. She was on Vanderpump Rules originally. Her and Michelle, I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. Sinai. I'm going to totally butcher it. So we're just going to, it's Michelle, just Michelle. But her and Michelle posted photos together. Lala put up the caption, I could go Brad or I could go Angelina. That is a Kyle Richards quote, and Kyle Richards is a Real Housewife. It makes it look like Lala and Michelle are together. I'm not gonna lie. I hope Lala is incredibly happy. Like I said, I'm a big Lala fan. I love her energy. I love that when she goes all psycho crazy on people, that she apologizes afterwards and takes accountability for the craziness. And I think it's great TV. Her dating Michelle, I don't 100% know how I feel about that. Michelle is beautiful, stunning. I just have always thought that she's super boring. And Lala to me is not boring at all. So maybe they'll even each other out. It'll be interesting to see how all of that plays out. Keeping it in the Bravo family, we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They had their part 3 reunion today. In fact, I waited to record this so that I could watch the part 3 reunion and see how Bronwyn Newport talks about her separation with Todd. It did not disappoint. I'm so glad I waited. She said that she is the one that initiated the separation. She did not bring up the prenup and Andy didn't ask, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. We need the details on what the prenup, if there is one, and what the divorce is going to look like because I want Bronwyn to freaking take Todd for everything he's worth. Apparently, she says that Todd, after she said that she wanted to separate, Todd went and watched every season. He has been reading all of the Reddit threads, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it's called, TikToks with his name on it. His feelings are hurt. And I'm sure that they are. The shit that he has done to her on the last few seasons. Like, come on. Of course people aren't going to like you, bro. And the fact that he had no clue just tells me everything we need to know. It's very much giving like that she has been asking him to go to therapy their entire relationship. And as soon as she files for separation, he wants to go to therapy. It's giving that kind of energy. Like, oh, am I the problem? Let me do this last minute shit to see if we can salvage the relationship, see if I can manipulate you into staying with me. It's like giving that energy. I'm not here for it. I am very pro leaving an unhappy situation. I'm very pro leaving a situation where you are not benefited, where you are not valued. And I do not believe that she was valued in that relationship from what they showed us on TV and what she has said. Obviously, I don't know them. I'm just speaking about what we have seen. I am glad that I watched that first because it's been something that they've been teasing the last few weeks. And I just wanted to hear her talk about it. And I wanted to hear how it came about. And it sounds like she separated from him. Fucking Mary saying that she thought the cherry thing was funny. Girl, you are so far removed from thinking anything is funny. Come on. There's no way her and that fucking grandpa that she married of hers are laughing and kikiing and joking and flirting around. No fucking way. If Mary told that man that she liked something and looked forward to eating a cherry and then he took her cherry, she'd burn the fucking house down. Like, let's be so fucking for real. I am happy for Bronwyn. I can't wait to see how she thrives because I know she will. And it's going to be hard for a while, obviously. But I think this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to her, honestly. Going away from Bravo, but keeping it in the reality universe is Traitors. If you guys are watching Traitors, holy cow. It's a great season. Honestly, there's a reason that it is always the most watched reality show because it's just amazing. But I specifically want to talk about Colton Underwood on there because obviously a lot of shit is being recirculated about him being an abuser, a manipulator, a stalker, because he is. And he came out as gay after he did The Bachelor and pretended to be straight on The Bachelor. It seems like everybody just fucking forgot about all the bullshit that he did to Cassie Randolph, who deserves all the fucking happiness in the world. He fucking stalked her. He created fake numbers that he would text her and her family and friends on, and he finally copped to that. I mean, this guy is not fucking good. He is a manipulator to his core, and people just fucking forgot about it. I could only pray that one day I have a fucking management company like he has. We need to figure out who manages him because how can you fucking treat somebody that way and then get casted on The Traitor, the biggest TV show on the planet? I hope he doesn't get a redemption. I hope this is not his redemption tour. I hope that not the hate. I hope that people keep realizing what a horrible human he is. I don't want people to like hate him or bully him and do the shit that he did. He's a horrible person. So I don't want people to do that to him, obviously. I don't want him to get a good edit either. I don't want him to get more fame and popularity out of this. I want everybody on earth to know everything that he did. And I think that's exactly what this show has been so far. People are talking about it. And I think it is so for the best. Honestly, can't wait to see what his tour is like once the show is over and how people treat him after the show is over, honestly. Lastly, we have to talk about Tell Me Lies because they are really getting into the narcissism of it all this season. I mean, Steven he's a narcissist, but this season they are really leaning into it, man. It honest to God gives me anxiety watching him and talking to women. It gives me anxiety. I mean, it's just insane how triggering this shit is. The actor's name is Jackson White. He plays Steven so well. So well. I want to know the research and everything that went into him knowing, I mean, down to the body language, you guys, of how narcissists act and talk and manipulate. I mean, it is just insane. You know, I keep hearing every once in a while that people are saying that Lucy is just as bad as he is. Completely disagree. She is fucking up, yes. Do I want to smack her around a little bit? Yes. If you're not caught up on Tell Me Lies, maybe fast forward through this shit. The difference between her and Steven is that she has the capacity to feel remorse that Steven lacks. Steven does not have the capacity to feel remorse. He does not have the capacity to feel sorry for his actions, whereas Lucy does. You can tell that she does by how she treats her friends and stuff like that. It's completely different from Steve. If Lucy was an actual narcissist, this is like a really great example that I was thinking of earlier. Pippa had that sexual assault with that Chris kid. Pippa went through her sexual assault and didn't want to tell anybody about it. And Lucy instead said that she was sexually assaulted by Chris so that she would give some truth to what happened without throwing Pippa under the bus. She thought she was being supportive. Well, now Lucy is taking a bunch of fire because she doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to talk about it because obviously it's not what happened to her. She wasn't the one that was sexually assaulted, so she can't really speak on it. She doesn't have evidence. If this were Steven, he would be holding it over Pippa's head. He would be manipulating Pippa, trying to suck her dry of any energy and favor that she could possibly give him because he stood up for her in the first place, even though she didn't ask him to do that. Whereas Lucy is just letting it go. She didn't tell Pippa about the bucket of urine that was left outside her door. She's not trying to make her feel bad for a situation that Pippa didn't ask her to put herself in. And I just think that's the best example of Lucy not being a narcissist. Whereas Steven absolutely would be doing these things because he is a narcissist. Until I have sponsorships, here's a quick plug, sisters. If you're all about fashion, fitness, and lifestyle inspo, head over to my LTK. I'm dropping my favorite looks, workout must-haves, and items I use on the daily. The best part about it is you can shop everything in one place. Follow me at Abby Rodell and get in on all of the looks I am serving. Welcome back, sister girls. Today's sister circle is for anyone who is tired of decoding mixed signals, tired of saying he's a good guy, and ready to start recognizing men who deserve a spot on the team. We talk a lot about red flags in dating, the warning signs, deal breakers, the chaos, but today we're flipping it. This is the green flag edition. Getting butterflies is cute and all, but emotional safety is elite. Just because he's attractive or makes a bunch of money does not mean that he is full roster potential. Let's get into these green flags. These are green flags that I have picked for how he shows care and effort. 1, he follows through on what he says. This is huge. You can make 100 promises, right? But if you don't actually do any of them, what the fuck is the point of saying it? Doing what you say you're gonna do, huge. He remembers small details about you. To me, when a guy remembers small details about me, it makes me feel like he's not talking to 100 other women. When they can't remember details that you've told them, you can't turn me off quicker because I've already told you that. And tell me you are talking to 50 other women without telling me because I remember all the little details that you told me. He checks in on you when you've had a hard day. He makes plans instead of sending the WID text at 10 p.m. If you send me the WID text, I don't give a shit what time of day it is. Blocked. We ain't doing that. I don't have the energy. You are giving me goose egg effort. I'm not dealing with that. Makes plans is huge. I had a lot of women from last week reach out to me about the coffee date thing. A lot of women said that they actually don't mind doing a coffee date first, and there's like a couple different reasons. First is because it's really quick and easy and it doesn't take too much of their time if it doesn't work out. They can leave easier. There's no commitments after a coffee. Once you decide to leave, you can just leave. It's a really easy way to leave without making it awkward. You can walk out of a coffee shop with the coffee, as opposed to if you're getting dinner or something like that. It's a lot more awkward to box it up or just get up and leave in the middle of dinner. Third or fourth reason is because, they might be dating, going on a handful of dates, and it's just easier and minimal effort to do the coffee thing. All of that, from my point of view, is I have zero problem getting up and leaving in the middle of dinner if I'm not feeling a date. I will put money down on the table. I always have cash on me. I will put cash on the table, pay for my half. I might pay for the whole meal depending on how fucking horrible it was. and get the fuck out of there. Or, stick through dinner because I'm going to have a good time regardless. I mean, I've never been in a situation where I'm not having a good time. If we've made commitments to go do something after dinner and I'm not feeling it, I'm going to tell him I'm not feeling it. I'm leaving. Thanks for dinner. No, thank you. I don't want to continue this date. I feel like the guy should respect that as well because you're not wasting his time either. But another thing is, I don't go on many dates. I am not a dater. I actually hate dating. I just don't go out on many dates. I don't swipe on dating profiles and shit like that. I will let my Hinge kind of marinate and let people like me. And then once every few weeks, I'll go through the likes that have piled up and see if there's anybody in there worth talking to. Most of the time, there's not. So I just don't even go there. I think because I'm not a big dater, I do expect a man to put in effort, when we go on a date. If I don't go on many dates and I've agreed to go on a date with you, it's not going to be to a coffee shop. You're going to take me to dinner or we're going to go do something fun. But I respect the women who want to go get coffee too. I mean, I can't hate on that. Do what makes you comfortable. Whatever you can leave the easiest if you're in an uncomfortable situation, do that. No shade on the coffee. It's just not my thing. He introduces you to his life instead of keeping you separate. Obviously, there is a time for starting to introduce you to his life. That time frame is different for everybody. But if it's been way too long and you've not met anybody in his life, that is a red flag. He's not integrating you into his life. Don't you want to meet his friends? At some point, his family. And then the last one for the caring and effort is he jumps in to help without being asked to do something or says, like, how can I help? I think that is a huge way to be helpful. I think that you're acknowledging that one person is doing a lot of work and you want to know how you can help them out. How can you take a load off of their plate? I think even asking the question of how can I help means way more than just not helping at all. Regardless if they tell you they need help or not. You could say how can I help and they might say, "Oh, I got it." Which is fine too. I think even asking that is a huge green flag. Unless you're like married. If you're married, don't fucking ask, how can I help? Get your ass in and start doing it. Like, come on. You know what needs to be done? Do it, motherfucker. Green flags that he is emotionally secure and independent. 1, he has hobbies, goals, and a life outside of the relationship. Huge. I wish that I would have taken that into consideration in my last couple of relationships. I think it would have saved me a ton of time. He isn't threatened by your success or your independence. Again, one that I overlooked. Like, he needs to be having his own shit going for him. He needs to be having his own goals. I say now that my next relationship, I want to be able to celebrate him because I celebrate little wins. It doesn't have to be big celebrations. I want to celebrate when something good goes on at work. And if he has no goals, passions, dreams, aspirations, how the fuck are you going to celebrate him? You can't. He doesn't give you anything to celebrate for him. So then I got all kinds of shit to celebrate. There's always another brand deal around the corner for me, something amazing happening in my life. I feel like I have a ton to celebrate. And so when your partner's not celebrating anything and you're constantly celebrating what's going on with you, it causes the shift and can create a little bit of insecurity there. And that is something that I'll never have again. I want a man that I can celebrate, who gives me reasons to celebrate him, who has goals, dreams, and ambitions that we can celebrate. He can be alone without spiraling or needing constant reassurance. He doesn't rush intimacy to force closeness. This again is huge at the point of my life that I'm in. In my previous relationships, I was very quick to jump into sex because really that's like what I was looking for. I was looking for just someone to have sex with. And if they ended up being my boyfriend, great. If they didn't, great. Now I am very intentionally dating the men that I do go on dates with. I'm not hooking up with them. I mean, I haven't hooked up with anybody in a long time. It's like I'm waiting to be exclusively with somebody and going deeper into our relationship before I am having sex with them because I feel like once I have sex with somebody, It does give me that false sense of closeness, and it kind of pulls the wool over my eyes where I start ignoring red flags, and I just don't want to do that. Last one is he is consistent. He's not hot one week and cold the next. Green flags with how he communicates. One, he actually listens instead of waiting for his turn to speak. Are they actually listening to you, or are they just being silent and waiting for you to stop talking so that they can talk? He can talk about feelings without shutting down or joking it away. Brings up issues calmly instead of ghosting or exploding. Huge. Are they like bringing it up as it's, happening? Or are they letting shit just pile up, pile up, pile up, and then going and exploding on you? He says what he means. No mind games, no guess what I'm thinking. They can apologize without a but or a TED talk full of excuses as to why he did it. If you can just apologize without saying but or this is why I did it, I think that really shows good character when you can just take it on the chin, acknowledge you fucked up, apologize, and take accountability for it. Huge. And I believe that will take you a long way in life. He never makes you feel confused about the relationship. Another huge one, you guys. Your future partner is not going to make you feel confused about where you stand in his life. This is like a perfect example. The first date I went on, I left the date feeling very confused. I wasn't sure how it went. The ending was very interesting. I just found it very strange. I had a gut feeling. I was texting my best friend, telling her about the date, trying to get input from her. Well, it turns out I found out that he had seen a woman before me and then went home to his house to a woman and stayed the night with a woman. So it's like your next man, your future man, the man of your dreams, he ain't gonna make you feel confused. There was a reason that I felt confused. It was my gut instinct, and I got a fucking gut instinct for bullshit. That bullshit radar was going off like crazy. So I found out more about him. Probably safe to say that a lot of women weren't very happy with him. A real man, a man that cares about you, he is not going to make you feel confused. These are green flags with his relationships with other people. He's kind to service workers. He has healthy long term friendships and new friendships. This is very important. Healthy long term friendships means that he is able to maintain relationships with people. He hasn't pissed everyone off in his life. People haven't separated themselves from him. If he has a few healthy long term friendships, I think that is huge. Now, should you be friends with every single person that you used to be friends with? Absolutely not. People grow, we change. But does he have a couple of people who have been in his life for a long time and they have a healthy friendship? I think having new friends is also incredibly important because it's showing that he's putting himself out there to meet new people. If you have hobbies, if you work in an office, if you are literally doing anything aside from being a recluse in your house, it is incredibly easy to find friendships with people. If he has hobbies and stuff like that, it would be very easy for him to have newer friends, which I think is also very, very important. He hypes his friends up instead of competing with him. The competition thing, I can't. I think women are more prone to this than men are, but the competition thing, I can't. There's space and room for all of us. All of us can succeed. I love when my friends succeed. I want the best for my friends and family, every single one of them. And just because one of them are succeeding does not mean that I'm not also going to be succeeding. I think if you hype people up, it gives more positive energy towards what you're doing. It inspires you to do and be better. So I love it when my friends succeed. And it's a very green flag in men to have them feel that way too. These are green flags for how he handles conflict. He doesn't insult you or get mean when he's upset. Huge. Just because you're upset doesn't mean that you have to be mean to somebody. I just think, especially your partner, somebody you're dating or your partner, emotionally regulate yourself. He wants to solve a problem and not just win like an argument. He can take accountability without flipping it back on you. Amen. Yes, please. We love accountability. He doesn't give the silent treatment as punishment. He respects boundaries even during arguments. These are green flags that seem small, but are actually huge. He puts the shopping cart back. That goes without saying. You don't get in trouble if you don't put the shopping cart back, and you don't get anything when you do. So it is truly just a test of how you are as a person. Put your fucking shopping cart back, you lazy piece of shit. Does he have a clean bathroom? He doesn't make sexist jokes. There's a time and a place for that. And the people that you're with, obviously. He walks on the outside of the sidewalk when you guys are walking together. He replaces the toilet paper roll without leaving it empty. Taking care of like domestic responsibility, I feel like, is like emotional maturity in disguise. When you take care of domestic responsibilities, chef's kiss. Because guess what? Somebody is going to change that. And if it's not you, you're putting it on someone else. It takes 2 fucking seconds, change the toilet paper roll. He admits if he doesn't know how to do something and he reads the instructions and figures it out. I think that's such an ego check to be able to say, I can't figure this out, and then read instructions and figure it out. Good on you. He doesn't make fun of things that you're excited about. If you make fun of something I'm excited about, you are no longer going to be in my life. Whether that be a friend, family member, anything, because that's fucking hurtful. If someone's excited, why are you being a fucking buzzkill? Let them be excited about shit. Be excited with them. It is such weird behavior to me to put somebody down for being excited about something. He can be wrong without being defensive. He notices when you change something small. He doesn't panic when plans change. If he invites you to stay the night and he has actual pillows and blankets, pillows being plural. My fucking sister, you guys, she's hysterical. She's been in the dating world much, much, much longer than I have, and she has some hysterical stories. And one of one of them was this guy had invited her to stay the night, and he had one fucking pillow on his bed and then didn't have like a comforter or anything. So what the fuck is he planning for her to do? Not use a fucking pillow when she's sleeping? That is so fucking bizarre. If you're going to have people over and stay the night at your house, you better have a fucking pillow and blanket for them. You freak. Like, are you fucking 12? He asks follow-up questions about your life, which again, huge, because it means he's interested in what you're saying and he's listening to what you're saying. And then this is the last one. He doesn't try to impress people by putting others down. Confidence without comparison. I do not have to talk myself up by putting others down. I fucking hate when people do that. It just really speaks volumes about your personality if you feel like you have to talk shit about somebody to make yourself look better. It's just weird behavior. Hey, sisters, before we wrap up with our last segment, if you want even more behind the scenes, daily vibes, and want to get to know me on a more personal level, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Abby Rodell. That's ABBEYROEDEL. I share everything from fashion, fitness, and lifestyle to funny or frustrating personal moments. I'd love to see you there. Slide into my DMs and say hi. Okay, sister girls. I hope you guys enjoyed that sister circle. I tried to keep it fun, upbeat. I hope you got a lot of good things out of it. I know I sure did. And I'm definitely upping my criteria for my next like boyfriend. I just feel like I'm always evolving and always increasing my expectations out of a partner, as you should. The more you bring to the table, the more you should expect your significant other to also bring to the table. And so I just feel like my expectations just grow, 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 girl. With all that being said, let's get into some inbox audacity to close out the show. Here is the first one. God, I love me a tall woman. I'd love to be able to dick you down, nice, slow, and deep. I promise you won't regret it. You'll definitely regret it. Oh my God. I just don't understand why men talk themselves up like this. It's so funny. I love me a tall woman. It's just insane. This is like a first message that this guy sent to you, which hilarious. You would regret it. Don't fucking do it. Okay, here's the second one. God damn. I'd love to be a drop of water from your shower head. What? What the fuck does that even mean? A drop of water from your shower head. I don't know what that means, truly. So that they drip down like all over your body? I don't know. Help me out, girls. If you can decode that, let me know. Okay, here's the last one. You have lovely eyes and kissable lips. Her. Oh, thank you. Him. You're welcome. I have to ask if you have any experience with black guys. I ask because our lips are pretty big and I don't want to suffocate you. Ay, ay, ay. There's so many things wrong with this. First of all, when we first match or start talking, do not tell me I have kissable lips. Okay, freak? We're not doing that. If you immediately start to sexualize me, no, I'm out. I'm not doing that shit. There's 1,000 other fucking compliments that you could give me. Do not tell me I have kissable lips. You can tell me how kissable my lips are after we kiss for the first time. Second, you don't want to suffocate her. That is hysterical. And maybe I could see how that would be a problem. I don't know. Obviously not something I got a problem with because my lips are not that big, but that is so funny that that is a genuine concern that he has for these women. It makes me wonder if someone has told him that she suffocated on his lips. Like, how do you do that? Like, pull back a little bit, kiss their neck, like transition to kissing their neck or something. I don't fucking know. Like, you let yourself suffocate in that scenario, girl. I don't get it. Anyway, poor bastard thinks he's out here suffocating women. All right, sister girls, that is it for episode 5 of Full Roster. Thank you so, so much for listening, as always. If you are loving the podcast, please make sure you are subscribing to whatever channel you're listening to it on, Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. And please leave me a review. It helps the platform send out my podcast to other people who maybe have not found it yet. I say since we talked about green flags this week, we talk about red flags next week. It's only fair. So come back next week to talk about the red flags of it all. I will see you next week for more belly laughs and wild dating stories. Until then, may your DMs be so smooth and the green flags be so, so obvious. See ya. Thank you for listening to Full Roster. You can find me on all socials at Full Roster Pod, and you can watch the video on YouTube. Like and subscribe to support the show, and come back for the next episode. See you next week.